Gaslight. Um, this is I don't even know her name. Even though I do, this was an excellent back and forth and statement. But it was here when she threw a little gaslighting out here when she was after this gentleman was speaking. Okay, where is it? Volume. Volume. Well, it's on mute. Um, Good. That's well, that part I very much agree with her, and it is a discussion that the Black African American community needs to discuss and to see itself and to understand that masculinity is not just quote the thug life thing, and femininity is not quote the angry before whatever, and that these are patterns and systems of behaviors that are being exploited by foreign adversaries, by Caucasian Americans, and it's the power of language, it's the power of mathematics, it's the power of logic, uh, and the fact that Black African Americans having this conversation is very, very good. However, always maintain the fact that it must be a truthful conversation that plans on expanding out to with actions and understanding, you know, the Amazon. What is it? Understanding things like, for instance, on the Amazon union, a gentleman who got that warehouse to unionize. He stated he had tried to reach out to her, Alexandria AOC and Bernie, and he said that he didn't get anything in return back. That is what you do. You hold your representatives accountable. Uh, for whatever reason, maybe I don't know, whatever reason, his she did not AOC didn't believe that was one of her constituencies or whatever, or however with Bernie or whatever. But the fact that he said so and showed some disappointment, and he also should not just go after the national ones, but who are the politicians within that that workforce area, not just that the physical location of the workforce of the work of the warehouse. But that's a good start, and congratulations on showing amazing leadership to get a union. Yeah, and a understanding how much money they're spending to keep you to keep unionized shows how much money they think they can squeeze out of the workers as opposed to working with in profits. So if you look at it as a business perspective, it's like, well, that's how much you value us. Is how much you know you're discounting the value, but it not you know just finance, future value, capital. So that's really good going. It gives hope to the Starbucks. That's a more forward facing, also within other industries, to bring back our manufacturing, to ensure that we have education, knowledge, skill sets for the future, to have the prosperous society that we can compete, and also have leaders who are not just getting bamboozled and played because all they see is the short term buck. So these are the things that need to happen. But she did, you know, what I was saying is, yes, everything she did say, but she did do a little micro gaslighting to this gentleman because he's not the thug type or whatever. But it's understanding that being educated does not mean weakness. And there is one of the things that, and she's who she is, but, and she has that platform, has this platform, and it, she, when I used to coach, or when on my teams, I would always say that there's, call it the rubber band theory. If a person's mellow, you remove them. If you always have somebody always angry, they're, from a feminine perspective, as observation, they're easy to control. A person like me is not easy to control because I really don't want to be angry. I just rather be chill. And but this, you think it's just the way psychology, and it's just the way the structure of the mind is. But people are separate from each other, and respecting that space gives people the ability to grow. So, and then here another thing was, okay, Trade Pro Academy. They did. George Papazov did this. What is it? Webinar. It's using Webinar Jam. It's trying to use. It's called breadcrumbing, and it's a type, and it's putting it into a funnel. One of the things is with, because everything is. I could sit there and make some phone calls. When I don't like making phone calls, it's really hard for me to do so. Is and make these phone calls, get, to flip a contract, but I'm not giving away everything I. I'm not giving away things that have taken me years. Look, no, it's really difficult to do that and go off the system. But anyways, so George is pissed off because actually it's this Mr. Box. Mr. Box, what happened is, when I said I used to pay for Trade Pro when it was cheaper, a lot cheaper. That's before. That's now we'll get back to something as far as my brand is concerned. Mr. Box, who does the Royal desk, he would always keep pulling him back over, and I'm paying this money, and this dude's just. And I'm like, hey, bro, could you stop doing that? And Mr. Box, being the type of personality set that he is, got his feathers all ruffled, and I'm like, well, I'm a customer. I'm the one that should be important, not your feathers. And you even hear him go, oh God. He gives a big sigh, then he keeps bringing it, and your new person trying to put all this stuff together doesn't make any sense. And I say something, and so he's all butthurt. So, being that, as I said, the type of personality, and it's on video, so they record the video, so I could point. I even wrote to it. I said, "This, you go look right here at this point. You will hear him do this." So it's not something that was a figment of my imagination. There's objective proof, and so it was. There's I still this story. There's this one dude who would say, "Sucker, sucker." And I said to him, in logic, everyone's called an inclusive. That was Rob. So, which is Craven's boy. And so it's all the same type of thinking. So he puts this thing out. I can guarantee you there's a definitive number of increase within his brand. And this little BS little webinar that he put out, and the way he did some things. I know his product launch formula. I know this shit, dude. Go fucking gaslight somebody else, because it's trying to like, oh, you get to my and to be my group. Fuck you. You shadow me. You can go fuck yourself. I will. I'm going to learn, and I'll definitely use your the purchase that product that McRaven upped the price on, and so I know I can have my that's part of using my brand, who and and, and just like I know Miss Lewis is still fucking free, and the and Kennedy and everyone's trying to roll me into something. No, I know what I wanted to do what I'm gonna do. But it's you always have to, and they would say, well, we know this person, we got Les Brown. Okay, when did that start? When did you blow up? What dates? You so you had McRaven libel my name, slander, libel, and slander. You had Mr. Box, same as well, because there is objective proof. I create problems because everything I say, if I'm going to say it, is an objective proof, is an objective statement. And it's difficult for some people because most people don't want to have integrity because they'd have to look at themselves and go, shit, yeah, I was being a shit. And one of the things that I call it a throwaway emotion is like, oh, here's some emotion back to it. And it's like, no, dude, you've made a lot of money off of my brand, and you're not just going to throw something and then get out and then say, oh, be part of us. Go fuck yourself. I'll take your overpriced, you've priced your education so high. I'll do that. But I will also be getting my brand capital back, one form or the other. Because there is an objective reality since all my shit's been that blah blah blah, and and I already know what dates Raven started brought you off to the side to talk to, and then you upped everything and make my life more difficult, and then you've made money off that brand. That's my value you're stealing, and I'll recoup my value. And this is the thing, same BS you deal with because they can't deal with the fact of their super ego of, you know, Box is a bigot, McRaven's a bigot, George is it's just oh he's about being competitive. I'm like if you have to piss on every fucking tree, kind of tells me you really aren't that bad at much of a badass. That's the way I've always viewed it. And then the next thing, well, you're right. And I go, could you do what I've done? No, you couldn't. And that's what makes someone a bigot. When they can't, they have to keep making excuses and keep trying to do this instead of just going, yeah, I couldn't do that. Good on you. Or yeah, you kicked me ass on that, but I can't kick it. That's the coward's move. Right? That's what makes a person poor. So I gotta make some money and get to this thing on Tuesday, on Wednesday, and you you have this whole world trying to pull at me because you have the shysters and the bigots and the theocrats. I'm a threat. I'm pretty damn sure I've pissed off the head of one of one of the most powerful dictatorships on the country in the world. Well, probably two of them at least. One at least, two possibly, a third maybe, depending if you're Indian nationalist. Because India's slowly slipping into a dictatorship. But you, this is what I'm talking about. That's the lack of integrity, and that's how they're playing us because we're not living up to our values, or at least even trying to. If providers are just straight up just be shysterly pigs, yeah, okay, then we're living up to our values. But I don't think those are our values. And the situation in Ukraine, and the situation, what we're seeing, this is all this swirling. We see this is the moment. Is Black African America ready to actually hold on to work to hold on to the gains? And you say, well, we worked on, well, your ancestors have worked, hold on to the gains and then lose and then hold on one, two step forward, one step back. But to sit there and really be, to not let somebody else dictate what the brand is going to be, what the idea is going to be. Just like you should try to say, well, you try to devalue me being Jamaican and being a Jamaican American. You don't get to dictate who I am. Kiss off. And that's, you know, there's, uh, there's a lot uh, to unpack with the situation, but there's a lot of toxicity within the Black African American community, and it's generational toxicity. All right, so but it's good the conversation's happening, but also you have to also, and I can't say I understand. I don't have the genetic memories of being African American, but I probably have the genetic memories of, you know, that part. Because there's, it's not like um, I, I'm everyone. So that's why I don't really get off on the whole race thing. I think it's just a stupid construct. But culture is the emotional set of how we do things and how it's passed down generational. So there's a lot of people who do not want me to, who want to control me or who want to, yeah, they don't want me dead and control me, or don't want me to be able to build out this hedge fund, which is definitely what I was going to do. But I also just want to play my music. And so Kennedy thinks that she's going to be able to pull that off, and then I'm going to now kiss off on that. I'm not that little. But this, what little Miss Thing here doesn't realize is it took a lot of self control not to do some very nasty things to her little thug life, whatever. And it would have been 300 meters out, one shot, one kill. It wouldn't have been no both side shot, pop, pop. Nah. If I'm going to jail, that's my price. And to sit there and think that here's this spoiled little brat who's just attacking because they don't know how to communicate. And they're just strung out on drugs and everything, and then to try to say, well, they're better. It sucks. This is what Caucasians use when they deal with Black African Americans. They know they can play that card. I am the biggest threat to those types of persons. That's why I've attacked. I know what. You haven't figured out, I might know something and I don't say anything. I know more than what I was saying. And I know the effects of, not all of the effects, but I got a minuscule kind of feeling of the effects of my person on this earth and what it has been. And that's before this whole year. So you don't have to like me, but just to be straight up disrespectful and just be mean, just to be mean because you can. That's just cowardly and candy ass. And you have now, just like Mr. George Papazov, he can't get over that fact. Yeah, Boxy was being an asshole. It was fucking me up. I was call, and it wasn't just me. It was another ladies like trying to follow, and I'm like, dude, yeah, I know. They get a little whatever. He got better because of that feedback that he did not like. And then using my brand, he's gotten better, and he doesn't have the gonadial fortitude to both say, yeah, this to to even begrudgingly that it's such cowardice shit. Extroverted quote alphas are just kind of like, yeah, he's whatever, dude. I just hate it. Just like, dude, I got better times than him. Like, and all the chest bumping and just blah blah whatever, whatever. That's just such shitty shit to me. But that's just me. But not having the courage to say, yeah, dude, appreciate that we did improve because of what you said. I know Victorio, you wouldn't have hired Victorio on because me, who seemed to have been a solid anchor for him. He would have had more dudes like Marky and because there was a lot of this whole very kind of unprofessional stuff going on the way that, and that was a lot to do with Mr. Box's personality. So say what you want. I know you've made a lot of money because of my existence. You and you don't and he doesn't have the guts to, which is normal, I guess. I'm so used to it now. So yeah, we've improved because of you, and we have been using your brand to grow ours. The second one is gonna be, still, and he's doing the whole, well, here's a little thing so we can say, then you can, no, no. It's just really just pathetic. It's kind of sucks the way people are. And then they'll say, well, like, how do all these people, I don't care about those people. How you treated me is what matters. And that's all that matters. I'm the one coming to the situation. I'm the one bringing what I'm bringing, not you. And everyone's trying to cut cut me at the knees so that they can get their manipulations in.